Welcome Bitcoin friends, it's Bitcoin Mamo. Today we're going to look at the Bitcoin chart and do some TA. The altcoins have been going off one by one like popcorn, and that's a reference to the name of this song. So let's do some TA, and let's get into the charts. I just want to start here on the 4-hour chart and just follow up from last week's video. So we're looking at this channel here. We also had this triangle pattern drawn, and it did look like we were starting to come down here, and I thought we may break below this triangle, and it did have a measured move down to around this yellow trend line which connected these tops here and this top, and we just saw a lot of confluence here with this level, doing the fib retracement from this low to the high when we made that previous video. We had the golden pocket in this area, and we also had the overall fib retracement from this low to that top, and that 382 level was also in this same area. So we were looking for a possible pullback. We also had that weekly EMA ribbon around this area also, but Bitcoin did end up turning bullish here. We did end up getting a bounce here and making a higher low compared to these previous lows using the bodies of the candles, and we made this W pattern and we ended up breaking to the top side of this triangle. We did get a throwback, but that quickly got bought up, and Bitcoin was more bullish than I thought, and since then we have been carrying higher. So just wanted to follow up on that. It didn't play out as we did expect. So let's see what we can see in the charts now. So if we just go to the more higher term timeframes first, this is the 2-week chart. We did have these order blocks drawn in, which is a level of supply and demand, where we have a red candle in an uptrend. And we did close that 2-week candle at the end of August, slightly above this order block. I did say that was bullish, but I also said we probably might get a throwback. We could even test the bottom of this box here around that 45.1. We managed to come down to about 46.4, and have gone back above this order block. So very bullish for Bitcoin. We are currently testing the golden pocket from the overall retracement here, and this is quite often a turnaround point. So we'll have to see how Bitcoin responds, but this is extremely bullish, pushing up from this order block, and we will open a new 2-week candle on Monday. We can also see currently we are above the main area here on the VPVR, the amount of volume traded at certain price levels. So that's also quite bullish. We can see the biggest spikes here did correspond with the top of this order block. And the next order block is all the way up at 55.8 to 58.8 approximately. And on the longer term 2-week time scale here, this would be the next target. We also see a lot of volume traded in that area. So this would be the next area we would look for possible resistance on the 2-week chart. The stochastic RSI has now gotten above this 20 line, which was key. As we saw in the 2018 bear market here, we got rejected at this line and never got back above it in that bear market. So that's also quite a bullish sign. The RSI we were comparing to 2013. This was the mid-cycle pullback in 2013 before going to a new all-time high at 1200 level. And we were looking at a similar thing here where we did have a pullback in that mid-cycle. And just to show that on the chart, this was that mid-cycle pullback in 2013. And we came back up and we did have resistance here for several weeks. And we did get a throwback. It doesn't look like much on this log chart, but we did get a throwback here from around 147 to 112. So I was looking for a similar thing, and I'm not ruling it out completely, but at the moment you have to go with the trend and things still look very bullish. We see on the stochastic RSI we did start to curve here a little bit, and in that 2013 pullback here where we got some resistance, we also started to curve on the RSI. So just something to keep an eye on. Also, I do think that pullback we spoke about to 42.43 is less likely now that we have moved higher here, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did get a pullback at this golden pocket area and perhaps even test the top of this 2-week order block again at around 48.7. Over to the weekly chart, and we have had this red candle here in this uptrend, so there is a new weekly order block. We've just got that drawn in with this box, and that also corresponds around that 48.8 area, so just above that 2-week order block. So I do think there's support here now if we do have a pullback, and I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to go long on a pullback around here. We do also have the weekly EMA ribbon that is still climbing higher. Currently the top of the ribbon is at 44,000, and this would be the lowest level I think Bitcoin would go to on a pullback now. And obviously each week this is going to get higher as we do climb higher. The stochastic RSI is all the way at the top here at 100 reading, and we can stay here for quite a long time, and we do see we can go on quite a run here when we are at this high reading on the stochastic RSI. The RSI is interesting. We did have this trend line drawn here on the weekly, and I thought we might get a pullback here. It did look like we were starting to curl around, and that was one of the reasons I was looking for that pullback. But we have broken higher here and closed higher on the RSI. So that's a very good sign for the bulls. We've broken that trend line. Because we are above this now, I do have to be bullish, and that larger pullback is looking a lot less likely. We can see that golden cross on the daily getting closer and closer. The yellow line's the 50-day moving average, the red one the 200-day moving average. We can see it's coming up quite quick here. And if we were to stay at this 51,000 area here, we can expect this cross to happen still around September 12th, September 13th. We do sometimes see a throwback to these crosses. So we could see Bitcoin come into this golden cross, and that would be around the 46,000 area. Looking at Bitcoin futures, the CME chart on the daily, we also see it setting up for a golden cross. It does look a little bit different here, and these lines are almost traveling in a parallel trajectory, but we do see the 50-day moving average starting to tick up here, and I think they might cross around the same time, around the 13th of September. This would be at a much lower level here, around 42,000 on the futures chart. And just looking at these order blocks on the daily now, we have drawn these in previous videos. You can see we have this red candle here in an uptrend, this green one in a downtrend. We also have this order block here. So we've just got those all drawn in, and we also have this order block here more recently with this red candle. We could also draw this one in as an order block here, as we do have a red candle in an uptrend. We were watching this channel we were in for quite a while here, and we broke down below and thought we might have that pullback, but we didn't get that pullback. We have traveled higher. So I do think this channel is probably less relevant now. So I think it's time to delete this channel and look for more relevant patterns in this current price action. So currently we can see we are in this daily order block. We did try to break above it. We've come back into the order block. So far it's holding as support. We did get a throwback down to 51,000, but there was actually a small CME gap before the Monday open here, and we did come down and pretty much fill that gap when looking at the wicks. So it's a good sign that we are back in this order block, and this order block is from 51.6 all the way up to 52.160, and pretty much in this golden pocket area for the overall retracement. We do have this EMA ribbon on the daily still acting as support. Every time we have come into this ribbon here since it flipped bullish with the yellow line moving to the top. This yellow line is actually the 20-day moving average, and these lines are a collection of moving averages. You can see we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 pullbacks into the ribbon, and each time we've bounced off the top of the ribbon. So it's a good sign for the bulls. And currently the top of this ribbon is at around 48,550. So it can be a good way to get into a long trade is to follow this EMA ribbon and go long when we do get to the top of the ribbon. And just to show you how to pull up that EMA ribbon if you don't know how to, if you go to indicators and strategies here and go to the public library and type in the EMA ribbon, and the one that you want to use here is the one that says crypt next to it, and that will pull up this EMA ribbon. So what patterns can we see in the chart here on the daily? We could be in this channel here. We have several touch points on the bottom, several touch points on the top. These are parallel lines. We'd be looking for one more touch to confirm this pattern. Normally look for 3 touches on one side and 2 on the other. So just want to look at the RSI and the stochastic RSI now. And what we are seeing here, we are seeing some bearish divergence build up on the daily. We can see we've had successive higher highs here with each of these touch points. And on the RSI, we've had lower highs. So this is a bearish divergence. We have had pullbacks on each of these, but we just need to be aware of that building up here, and we could possibly have a more decent correction. But we can negate that, and if we did make a higher high here on the RSI and also the higher high on the price, then that divergence will be negated, and I would expect us to push a lot higher. And to do that, we would of course need to close a daily candle above this golden pocket area of the overall retracement. So it does sort of go hand in hand here, that if we do break above this area, we might negate that divergence and also push up because we did break that golden pocket. On the other hand, if we did get rejected at the golden pocket and come back for a pullback, then that bearish divergence would have played out. The stochastic RSI is still coming up here on the daily, still has room to go higher. So I do think there's a bit more left in the tank here. And on the Bitcoin Futures chart on the daily, we also see stochastic RSI heading up here. And we're also watching for that divergence on the RSI on the futures chart. Let's take a quick look at market Cipher. We did get a red dot here on the 4-hour chart, but the money flow is still quite healthy in the green. And we can see here we can go higher after getting this red dot, and those higher time frames are a bit more reliable. The 6-hour is still pushing higher here. We don't have a red dot on the 6-hour. The 12-hour is still pushing higher with this blue wave. The daily did come down here, but we did get a green dot. I was looking for this blue wave to come down further and form a tight blue wave below the zero line. That would have been an entry I would have looked for to go long. We did get that bounce and the green dot, and we are going higher with this blue wave. There's no red dot yet, and the money flow is looking really good here. It's pushing up and is at its highest point it's been. It's all the way back in April. The 2-day is also just starting to push into the green with the money flow. The 3-day has just gotten a green dot here. This will be confirmed in 3 hours if we do stay at these levels. So that's quite a good sign for continuation. And the weekly is still looking very healthy here. The 3-week does still have this green dot present, and if it's still there by next Monday, that will be confirmed. And this one's quite important, because if we do look back at 2013, this was that mid-cycle pullback, and we saw we got that red dot. We had that big correction, and once we got that green dot here on the 3-week chart, you can see it lines up with this candle here, and we'll just zoom in a bit more. We can see once we did get that green dot confirmed, the following week was when we really started taking off. We made new all-time highs, and we finished off the bull run quite explosively. So we'll have to wait till Monday to see if that green dot does get confirmed, and possibly we're going to see something similar here. So I think that's about all. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that analysis. We'll keep watching the Bitcoin price and look for those divergences on the daily and also that golden pocket area. So thanks for watching on Bitcoin Mamo. See you next time. Bye.